Welcome to another episode of making web applications using a smartphone. So today I'll be showing you how to make a Laravel project and website using a smartphone, Android smartphone. So I'm going to show you how to start up code server by putting the path to it. So right now I'm in the Ubuntu server. I'm going to paste the link to start the code server in one prompt. Alright, so the server is starting, so I can just open the front end, the VS Code front end, and here it is. And I'm going to start a terminal session inside the VS Code and list all the files to see if there's anything there. Alright, so the server is up. Well, the backend part of it. Alright, so I'm going to start a new terminal session to list all the files and show you what's going on in the backend. Alright, so first we're going to upgrade and update all the packages for Linux Ubuntu to make sure stuff don't break when we try to install other things. And it's done. Alright, so now we're going to install Composer and the curl command so we can curl web servers and stuff. And it's done. Alright, so we're going to check if PHP is installed, and PHP is installed. So it's version 8.3.6. And now we're going to install Composer globally, Laravel globally. So we can access it from anywhere. Alright, so I'm going to type Y for yes and accept everything as default. And it's done. Alright, so now I'm going to export the environment variable for the Composer so we can check if Laravel is installed from anywhere in our path. And we're going to save the bash rc script to ensure that the environment variable is is saved permanently. Alright, so inside VS Code we're going to list all the files to see if any files were created. Alright, we can see the bash rc file. Alright, so we're going to cd into repo so we can create our new Laravel project. Alright, so we're going to use the Laravel command to create a project. So we're going to say Laravel new and give our project a name. In this case, I'm going to give my project a name Laravel-template. It is a template. It is going to be a template in the future anyway, so we can branch out from it using Git. And as you can see, the Laravel command is not found. So we're going to have to kill the terminal and start a new one. Alright, so since we started a new terminal session, when we run the Laravel command, it should be recognized. So we're going to cd back into repo and run the command to create the project, new Laravel project, and it should work this time. And it did. So I'm going to choose React because that's what I'm most familiar with for the front end. Alright, so I'm going to use Laravel's built-in authentication since it's very fast to do. And I'm going to use PHP unit for the unit testing framework. Alright, that was fast. It's done. Alright, so now we have our new Laravel project. So I'm going to try to cd into the project Laravel template, Laravel-template to see if it exists. or not. Alright, so the project does exist. I'm going to try to list all the files in it. And here it is, a full-fledged project. So I'm going to officially open the project using the open folder button. Alright, this is actually very impressive. I mean, a full Laravel project on a smartphone. And this is not even, this is code server, not VS Code, for reference. Alright, so this is incredible. Alright, so I'm gonna run the PHP artisan serve command to see if we can serve this project on a web server so we can access it on a browser. Alright, so we're getting an error. I mean, I did not expect it to work, but if it did work, it would be too good to be true. Alright, so we need to install Composer globally and as super user, so we can run Composer from anywhere, because we only installed it but we never really used it. So we're gonna install Composer without any platform requirements and without any interaction. Alright, so we're gonna install php-xml so we can have access to the document object model for the web server, so we can actually see the web page. And we're gonna try to serve the web server, and now it's serving. Right, on port 8000. So I'm gonna copy the link and open a web browser to see if it's there. Alright, so we're getting an error. I mean, this can be fixed. I'm gonna show you to fix this one. This one says no application encryption key has been specified. So I'm gonna stop the terminal session and generate a new key to put inside the environment file. As you can see, the app key variable is assigned to nothing. So I'm gonna generate it so we can point to something. Alright, so the key has been set successfully. As you can see, it's there in the environment file. And I'm gonna close the terminal and start a new one just in case it's reading the updated file. Alright, this error means that no SQL database exists, so we'd have to create a new SQL database file, because Laravel automatically defaults to using an SQL database. So this one will touch to create an SQLite file, and it's done. Alright, so we're gonna try to serve the server again to see what other errors are there, if any. Alright, so there's a new error. This one says no database driver found. It's the same as like on a computer, but I did not expect it on a mobile phone. So we're gonna install a database driver for Linux. So this is the command to install the SQLite 3 database driver. Incredible, nice. Alright, so we're gonna try to serve the Laravel server again. I'm gonna refresh the page. And there's a new error. This one says there's no session stable. Alright, I'm gonna stop the server and clear the terminal. Alright, so we're gonna create a sessions table manually by using the command. And even though it says migration already exists, it did not, but I'm gonna run the migration just to make sure things are up to date, and it's run successfully. So as you can see, there's a sessions table now. So we're gonna serve the server again to see if it works. Alright, so this one says the Vite manifest not found. It means that we did not install Vite, because Vite is the build tool for React. So I want to show you to fix this one. I'm going to stop the server and install the Vite globally. Alright, so it's installed. We install Vite globally. Alright, so we're going to try to run, install all the packages before we try to run the server in our project. Alright, so we're going to install Yarn. Yarn is an alternative to NPM, but we're not going to use it, but we're going to install it just in case we need it. But I have heard that Yarn is better to use with Vite than with NPM. It's faster with Vite. Alright, so we're going to install all the packages now using npm install for our project. Alright, so it's done. And we're going to run npm run build to build our assets so we can serve it using Vite. And if we did not have Vite installed, we could not build it because Vite is a build tool. And it's done. Alright, so now we can serve our web server, hopefully without any errors. Okay, this is nice. Alright, so it worked without any errors. This is the Laravel landing page. I'm gonna test the routes to see if they work. The login route and the register route. Alright, so we're on the login route now and it works. It's amazing that this is working on a smartphone, and that's it for our tutorial.